I'm gonna do it like this. Okay, there we go. Hey guys, Tyler, sorry about the weird angle. It's just there's no split the camera right now, and I'm gonna react to Aging Wales. I finally bought a Pesley Fiat. I love it! He said he was gonna do that. If you ever watched a lot of episodes of Aging Wales, you know that. Here's the computer. Yeah, I'm still doing videos, so yeah. So yeah, guys, we're doing this, and by the time you watch this, everything will be done, so yeah. So I'm react to this.
Reese's, did you really wake up looking like this? Smoking.
He took his ladder to the car wash. Okay, he's taking his ladder to the car wash. Yeah, that'd be funny. Okay, he's taking his ladder to the car wash. He's washing his car ladder with a sprayer. Like a normal person does. I mean, I'm surprised he doesn't hand wash stuff. Oh no! Okay, use a leaf blower, okay. That was just real.
Oh no. I dried it too fast.
He used a leaf blower to dry it, and it shrunk to a Fiat! That's our feature video.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to disable the American cloaking device. There we go. I bought a 1991 Polski Fiat.
Please tell me you kept the... Please tell me you kept the... So yeah. I'm gonna rewind it a little bit, because I paused it.
Oh no. I dried it too fast.
You turned into a Fiat!
This is... Oh, sorry, I forgot to disable the American cloaking device.
Your truck?
There we go. I bought a 1991 Polski Fiat 126P. That's all you need to know, right? This is the
cute.
Fiat 500, Fiat's cutesy rear-engine city car produced from 1957 until sometime in the mid-70s. It was happy, it was useful, it was stylish, and it was very popular. Fiat made nearly 4 million Fiat 500s in less than 2 decades. That's an average production of roughly 600 cars per day. By the end of production,
wow.
Fiat made enough Fiat 500s for every 14 Italians. At some point, someone at Fiat must have decided, La Cinquecento è troppo...
The Fiat 500 is too happy. I don't like it happy.
Fiat began production of the 500's replacement, the significantly less happy, more utilitarian Fiat 126. Which isn't what this is, but we'll get to that. Compared to the previous Fiat 500, which was still produced for about 3 years after the 126 began production, the 126 was a complete failure. Fiat only made 1.3 million of the 126 before ending production in Italy in 1980. I mean, 1.3...
I don't know where we're at. I don't know what this town is. M36. Okay, we'll put M down M36. M36. If I don't know what I got here, I'm gonna be getting yelled at. Say, Tyler, you should be on the city. You should be on the city. Guys, give me a break. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Half these videos shouldn't even have numbers on names on them. CC 63.
That's basically no cars at all. But like I said, this isn't Fiat 126. The Polish People's Republic was a satellite state of the Soviet Union. Until it wasn't anymore in 1989. In 1970, Poland had a problem. Well, I'm sure they had many problems, but I only care about the one. They didn't have enough cars for everybody. In 1970, there was only one car for every 65 Polish people. This is a Polish chicken.
Oh, okay.
The enormous issue of not having enough Zoom Zooms for everybody, the Polish People's Republic wanted to start producing a low-cost car for the masses in Poland. The drab replacement for the previously happy Fiat 500 was the perfect candidate. Mostly because it was cheap, so in 1973, the Polish government bought the license for the 126 from Fiat. And in the same year, they began production of the Polski Fiat 126P at FSM, short for Fabryka Samochodów Małych Traktorów, which is Polish for Small Car Factory. How delightfully descriptive.
Makes sense.
This is one of the many cars Fiat designed that went on to be produced under license in enormous quantities for far too long in a communist country. Another two examples are the Yugo 45, based on the Fiat 128, and the Lada 2107, based on the Fiat 124, both of which I have owned. This one I still own. Unlike the Yugo and Lada, however, the Fiat 126 barely changed at all in its transition to socialism. There were some minor body changes and chassis changes, but nothing major, and they barely even changed the name. It went from Fiat 126 to Polski Fiat 126P. Polski Fiat is just Polish for Polish Fiat, and the P is stuck on the end, presumably stands for Poland.
Okay, that's not a bad idea.
Why try for police car? Restart.
So now you got two cars from Holland.
For 40 days.
So now you got two cars from Holland and you got a car from Poland.
Most people didn't call it this, though. The Polish nickname for this car was Malek.
Anderson, Michigan. Dang, a big fire department,
Anderson, Michigan? Anderson, Michigan? We go that one town, you're gonna do. I'm just put down G, Michigan. Dear God, I can't pronounce it. So, CC 64. I'm taking your time, aren't you?
Polish for toddler. How fitting. In fact, this nickname was so common that when FSM briefly exported the 126 to Australia, they called it...
Look, it's tiny.
No, not that. They called it the Nicky Malek. According to Google Translate, Nicky Malek is Polish for little baby.
Oh!
Unfortunately, I verified that with a native Polish speaker, and that isn't true. Nicky is not Polish for anything at all, which was utterly disappointing to find out. While production of the 126 ended in Italy in 1980, Poland didn't stop. FSM kept making this car until 1992.
Wow.
At which point FSM became Fiat Auto Poland. They made it for another 8 years. The total production run of Polish-built Fiat 126s was from 1973 to 2000. While
Wow.
126s were made in Italy, another 3.3 million were built.
So, wow, that's pretty nice to know. That car was made from the 70s to 2000? Wow, that's like the Beetle and the Citroen du Chaveau. Or this, what do you mean, Tyler? Well, the Beetle was made from the 30s all the way up to recently, and then the Citroen du Chaveau, the Chaveau, was made from 48 to 19. Okay, Beetle's made from the early 30s all the way up to recently. They stopped making it as it's recording. The Citroen CCV was made from 48 all the way up to 1990. So yeah. So this is the third. So this would be actually, I think, the third longest car ever made. Would be the Fiat 126P.
Not Polish for anything at all, which was utterly disappointing to find out. Well, production of the 126 ended in Italy in 1980. Poland didn't stop. FSM kept making this car until 1992. At which point FSM became Fiat Auto Poland, and they made it for another 8 years. The total production run of Polish-built Fiat 126s was from 1973 to 2000.
Almost 30 years.
1.3 126s were made in Italy. Another 3.3 million were built in Poland. Why was it so popular? The same reason the Trabant was so popular.
Small and easy to fix. I'm just gonna put no name on this one. No name? No name. Like CC65, so this is gonna be the next one's to name too. CC65. Tell me, how you do pretty good. CC65. Now, if we're done watching this, I'm gonna have to take that camera right there I'm recording off of and upload the videos to this too. Guys, the reason I'm wearing a hat, guys, the sun's in my eye. I can't really see. And I'm stupid.
If you lived in the country where either one of these cars was produced, it was one of, if not the only option a normal person could afford. Just like that thing, this didn't become the go-to choice for families because it was the best car for the job. The Kispolski, as it was known in Hungary, was popular in places like Poland, Hungary, Cuba. Places
all three those cars were made.
Were both limited.
Wow. So the Fiat was in It was in Hungary. The Trabant, the Lada and the Fiat were all in Hungary, where your car's all from. So the Fiat was from
Also,
Hungary?
another common thread between those countries, but we're not going to get into that. But that's enough history. This isn't a history lesson. It's a car. A little one. Let me show you under the hood.
Engine's in the back.
Is the spare tire, or in Italian, struttura d'urto. There's also a jack, some wiring, more fuses than I expected, a battery, and not much else. In the Fiat 500 that came before this, the gas tank was also up here. But in the 126, they moved the gas tank in the back under the rear seats. Using magic, I presume. This video is sponsored by Factor. Ready to heat meals.
More Factor videos?
Factor meals are delivered to your door in a chilled box. All you have to do is take out the packages, stow them away in your fridge, and then heat them up in the microwave when you're ready. When you're ready, pick your meal. In this case, herb-encrusted chicken with almond sliced green.
Please tell me it's not real cash.
To remove the cardboard cover, vent the film, pop it in the microwave for 2 minutes, and that's it. You're done. These meals never disappoint. I've talked about it before, but their ability to prepare chicken breast in the factory, send it in a refrigerated box, have it microwaved, and have it be delicious is magical. In fact, the chicken breast meals are some of their best meals. I don't understand how that's possible, but it is, and they're good. Chicken isn't your thing. They also have vegan options. They also have keto options and calorie.
Keto. I'm not
whatever
a fan
you
of
want.
keto.
They got it. So what are you waiting for?
My friend Tiger eats it, and I don't understand how he eats keto.
Takeout. Maybe you drive a Fiat 126, and by the time you get home with your takeout, your food's cold. Whatever the reason may be, Factor Meals got you covered. Thanks again to Factor.
So you replace your Yugo with a Fiat.
Factor for yourself. Go to Factor.
It's more. It's safe. It's more reliable than the Yugo.
At checkout for 50% off your first box. I always like these ads because I can film them while eating lunch. Because this is my lunch. The engine is back here. All Fiat 126s had a 4.
Didn't all engines from Fiat until recently they put them in the back of the car. Some towns, G, Michigan. Gerg. Gerg. Ory. Orymi. Save. I should have saved that name. CC66. Publish. I need to get my piece of paper right quick. Rewrite that down. Write that down real quick. And fix it. Save. Back. CC, I think so, yeah. CC67.
Stroke inline 2-cylinder engine and a 4-speed manual. Early cars had a 592cc air-cooled engine, making a whopping 23 horsepower. The replacement for this engine, as denoted by this 650E badge right here, is a 652cc air-cooled engine. As you might expect from the larger engine, power also went up by 1 to 24 horsepower.
24 horsepower? That's not
Although
bad.
some sources I read said power stayed the same. Not that it makes a difference. Torque is 32 pound-feet.
That's not bad.
The Humble Lada has triple the power and more than double the torque of the little Polski Fiat. This thing looks like a luxury yacht in comparison. And it's huge. It's maintaining 100 up this hill. That's actually quite impressive for 23 horsepower. Oh, we're going back up, 105, going down the hill again. That wasn't bad at all. The Trabant does worse than that. There was also a version with a 704cc water-cooled engine. That version was called the 126 BIS. Or BIS, I'm not really sure. And aside from somehow finding a way to cram a radiator in here, that version was also a hatchback. They laid the engine down on its side, I think, or rearranged it in some way, added a floor right about here, and all of this was turned into hatchback. It was more powerful, too. 26 horsepower. That's enough to be dangerous on the sidewalk. Speaking of power, which one of these two mid-20 horsepower piles of car is the fastest to 60? Let's find out.
The Fiat!
Let's go!
The Fiat!
Oh, so hard.
The Fiat, because it's 8, because a Fiat, you drive it in the bottom.
Downhill, the guy with an advantage. Come on, we gotta beat the Trabant.
Come on, the Fiat, it's a shift, it's 8. Okay, the Fiat shift pattern's H. The Trabant is a column shift. This looks so, a column shift, oh, H shift. I'll take the Fiat. That looks so dirty, but I'm going to get demonetized now.
Come on! And 22.4. We're up.
Really, Trabant was faster? You know he did that video a while back, yeah, I know. That might be an older video, too. That video's an older video. Oh, crap, I gotta do 2 more things. Before I can finish this, I gotta do 2 more things. I got to leave the camera, I gotta touch the camera, let the camera do what it's doing, record, and even when I'm done doing that, I'm gonna like, record until the noise off. And I gotta do this. I gotta do 1 more thing real quick. I gotta put stuff in the dryer because laundry stopped. I'm gonna finish doing my laundry all day. You can't put this in the washer. You can't put it in the washer. I tried, remember? It didn't work. That'd be fine if you did. Say it again. What? Let's just touch it until, hey, the hell, hey, give me. One? Yeah. That's enough clothes there. Are you getting your overalls there? Yep, I'm going to my overalls later. Before I do my overalls, I'll put some clothes on there and do one thing. I need to get some shorts on in a little bit. And do it. Didn't even know the hood and the brushes, did you? Yeah, I did. Okay, I need to wear. I need to get some shorts on. If I had any left, I would put some shorts on, but I don't have any shorts right now. Wish you did. Yeah, I wish I had some shorts. Maybe I'm gonna take I'm gonna clean my closet out later on today. Clean out my closet. Actually, I'm gonna clean my closet out too. Here, yeah. No, I'll just clean out my closet today. So I'm gonna clean up the closet. Okay, I got like 40 things. Okay, I got more stuff to do now. First things first, before I forget, let's take out the baskets and this bin. I gotta do a few things today. Clean out this, put this bin right here. Put this bin here. That's it. Right up in the bin there. And do some other things too. I'm going to gotta take out some stuff. Later on today, I'm gonna clean up my closet, and that's all I gotta do today. The air's off right now. Hey, see, the air's off. Yeah, I'm gonna turn the air off real quick. I'm gonna do that real quick before I finish this video. Turn off the air. Open the back door. The cat's in that. The cat's doing what they want to do. Turn the air off. Open the door. Cat's out. Open the window. Get some air in the house. Clean out the garage, and that's it. I have a light on work in there. Air's off. Do this and that. So I got 40 things to do. Gotta clean out the garage. Gotta clean out my room. Go downstairs. Get the train set later on today or tomorrow. And that's it. I got like a lot more crap to do than I thought I would have to do today. There, done. Gotta do a lot of crap today. I just remembered I got a lot of stuff I can do today before I forget. And am I publish?
Not to 60 yet. 24.87 seconds. So the Polski Fiat is marginally quicker to 60 miles an hour than a Trabant. Like I said, it has a 4-speed manual. It's fine. The shifter's a bit sloppy. This is in gear. The bite point on the clutch is razor thin and very hard to drive smoothly. First gear is unsynchronized, and just like in the Lada, to put it in reverse, you have to push down on the stick to get it in gear. The shift?
That's different.
Ordinary dish soap can remove visible grease behind. Only Dawn Platinum removes 99% of grease.
The shifter does come in contact with my leg fairly often, but I'm going to blame my bigness rather than the car. The steering, as you might expect, is unassisted. Unfortunately, it is not rack and pinion, and because there's no weight over the front wheels, it's also very light. The brakes are also unassisted. They're drum brakes all around, and the clutch, because this car is the most basic form of everything, is cable-driven, not hydraulic. Not that this 23 horsepower engine needs a hydraulic clutch anyway. Because I'm in America, I often get asked by passersby, how do you even fit in that thing? Like this. Cars can be plenty spacious on the inside when you don't have any silly crash structures to worry about, and there's plenty of room for my feet. That last one's a lie, though. The footwell is incredibly narrow. It's like the driver's footwell on the Reliant Robin, except the thing eating away at my foot space is a wheel instead of an engine. Oh, try the turning circle. Woo! Oh, that's a little too tight. Holy crap! Look at this turning circle! And yes, it is a 4-seater. The back seats are, well, I think I'd fit a lot better if I was about 6 feet 2 inches shorter. In other words, if I didn't exist, there'd be plenty of space for me. I just discovered a similarity this has with the Trabant that I didn't notice before. Those rear seats, they don't have seat belts. Now, did it come out of the factory this way like the Trabant did? I don't know, but it looks like yes, because the rear pillars have a mount point for the shoulder belt with a factory-looking blanking plug in them, just like the Trabant. So my guess would be, yeah, it came out of the factory without rear seat belts. The engine is quite cold-natured, but it starts up every time.
Park in CC70. Yep, CC70. It's a nice little
The
engine.
choke is manually operated. The lever for it is down here between the seats. As far as I know,
That's
all
next to the
Falcons
e-brake? That's
were
weird.
operated with a manual choke to the end of production. Although the very last cars did get a catalytic converter, which I'm sure was hugely effective with all that unburned fuel going through it. The heater valve lever is next to the choke lever on the floor. This is an air-cooled car with the engine at the back that has to push the warmed-up air through this tunnel in the floor to the front of the car. I haven't tried it yet because it hasn't been cold enough, but I'd be willing to bet the heater leaves something to be desired. Or I could be totally wrong. I don't know. Here's the dash. It's padded. How
Wow.
There's a vent. There's some vent controls here to defrost your vents. There's no radio in this one, which means that speaker grill is fake. And there's a glove hole with mahogany inlay. And by that I mean I have a block of mahogany sitting in there. The steering wheel is branded Small Car Factory, but in Polish. The column has the same Fiat switches as the Lada and the Yugo. And the remainder of the switches are up here on the gauge pod. And yes, there is a blank one in here. Gauges. Unlike the Trabant, this has more than one gauge. It has two. It's a very basic gauge pod. There is no tachometer, but at the very least, the idiot lights are all labeled. What's hilarious to me is, why did they feel the need to so prominently display the recommended tire pressures in the gauge pod? That's not something I need to be reminded of while I'm driving. As you would expect from something designed to be a very basic car, it's a very basic car. It doesn't even have door detents. Probably the most interesting feature on the inside is the headliner, but don't touch it because it sheds. The ride is, dare I say, comfortable? When
Wow.
the tires were low, which actually quick ran. Who designed these wheel covers? They cover up the valve stems and they're held in place by the lug bolts. Doing anything with tire air pressure is unnecessarily difficult. Anyway, as I was saying, when I picked it up, the tires were low, which I initially blamed for the semi-cushy ride, but no, it's just like that. The front suspension is a double wishbone setup with a transverse leaf spring making up the lower control arm, and the rear end has independent triangle single wishbones with coil springs. For what it is, it's fairly good. Like a Beetle and Corvair, the rear wheels have pretty significant negative camber and like to tuck in, so don't corner too fast. Back to the engine in the back. How does this tiny 5/8 of a liter engine feel? Low end torque. Really, it feels like a quarter or maybe eighth scale lazy American V8. It hates high revs. It sounds exceedingly unhappy if I downshift too soon. And it makes no power at all above I have no idea how many RPMs because there's no tachometer. Like I said, it has the character of a lazy V8, except that it has so few cylinders you can hear each individual combustion event. Oh, I missed a couple there. With an engine this small and a car this small, you might think this thing's got to be awful at highway speeds. But no! It happily does 60 miles an hour, and unhappily does 70. Now the steering is
70?
under at this speed. It feels more than a little unsettled, and it's affected by wind more than most cars, and also it's, incredibly tiny and not the safest thing in the world. But it's shocking how well it does this at all. I'm passing someone. They're slowing down, but I'm passing them. You might have noticed my particular Polski Fiat, unlike most of them, does not mostly consist of iron oxide and is not held together mostly of gaffer tape. It's in great shape, save for some staining on the seats, a minor transmission leak, and a little bit of gas leak coming out of the top of the tank when I overfill it. It's in
That's typical.
shape. Of course, this is because I live in America. These things were never sold here. If someone's going to go through all the trouble and expense of importing one of these, they're not going to pick one that was used as a rabbit hutch or someone's porch for 2 decades. They're going to pick a nice one. That might bring up the question, though, if it's so perfect, what are you going to do with it? Why do I have to do something with everything? Can't I just buy a car and enjoy it as is? Got enough projects. Jeez. And that's my Polski Fiat
That's cute.
26P 650E, the latest
It's
addition
cute.
to my collection of
So now I got three cars from Hungary. It's surprising.